big dogs. What's up, guys? How we doing? I am here for a nice afternoon session. It's tremendous. I'm all excited about it. We just had the close of Big Bar 50, my man. Big Bar 50. I'm going to see if I can add some volume. My volume so far today, if you include the evening session, which it's the same session, so the volume all counts, is huge. I'm over 7,000 contracts on the session, and this is where I currently sit. So let's see if I can't blow it all up, and maybe we could, what do you think? Maybe what, quadruple that number? I don't know, man. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Big Bar 51, my man. Let's see what we got. 358 out. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. We got all the time in the world. It's only 12:41. We got 2 hours. What do you guys think? I'm thinking I scalp to my heart's content here. And I think we have a good time. So let's do that. Let's see what we can do. All right, Bar 51. 327 out, hanging out here. The close of 50 for me is a little bit, kind of sucks, to be honest with you, closing right inside the wick low of 49, and it's not really, I mean, well, I suppose I can make sense of a scalp there, but we do have a wedge coming down in. Anyway, I'm slanging today. How are you guys doing? How we doing? We'll see if I can hold it together. We know the afternoons have been tough. It's all right. I'm here to have a good time. Joker. Oh, man. I did a whole bunch of trades, dude. Whole bunch. Last night, too. Whole bunch. Been scalping like a motherfucker these last, 18 hours? Javaz, big dog. Jacob, good to see you, brother. News, how are we? Nathan Lee, Giovanni Manuel. My man. How are we? Cold? Hope you're having a cold-ass day. See this? 49, 50, 51. Yeah? Look, I gotta tell you, with a move like today, I don't need much. Dude. I'm putting orders out. You ask questions, man, we'll get to them maybe we won't. We got shit to do. No, I am flat right now. There's no position on screen, I'm flat. If there is a position on screen, that means I'm in a trade. And it'll look like this. See that? So, don't you worry, man. You guys will know when I'm in something. But right now I'm flat. We're a minute 23 out from the close of Bar 51 here on the New York session. ATR is 26, 27. Now, basically, I mean, you guys know what we're looking at here, right? We've got a big, well, first of all, we had kind of a bull trend through here with a little healthy pullback. That's fine. Another bigger healthy pullback turned us into a soft bull channel. There was a lot of risk of sideways range here, but really, ultimately, we ended up turning into a bull wedge. Which is fine by me. I'm cool with that. As long as I can make sense of the risk, we're good. So, I know a lot of you guys had data issues yesterday. I had a bunch of issues yesterday. I don't know what was going on. So by the time I, got to the afternoon, I'm like, I got to trade, dude. Like, I gotta do my job. So, I missed you guys. Hope you didn't miss me too much. We're together now, aren't we? All right, 52. We might get a nice little setup here. 438 out. It doesn't take too much. Doesn't take too much. You know, I don't want you guys... The last thing I want, by the way, is... And this is partially on me. But I don't want you guys to think that long-term, your trading has to be so... It needs to be disciplined. It doesn't need to be... How do I put this? You shouldn't be bored out of your skull every single day trading. As you get deeper into your career, I think trading gets more fun because you actually legitimately open up more opportunity to hit more scalps because you're now good enough to actually make money on them long term. Scalping is really hard for beginners. That's just the truth. I had a really hard time scalping in the early days. You know, I had to take a step back from that. And then when things started to go better, I tossed it back in because I'm like, well, I like scalping. Like, I want to scalp. The problem is most traders, the last thing they become profitable at is scalping. Okay, so, you know, I know that, you know, haha, it's funny. Some days we sit here and wait 2.5 hours for, you know, the regular, like, day one, you can recognize it, continuation, RAM setup in a trend. That's not all I'm doing at all. Like, that's a backbone setup for me for sure. But please do not think that that's all this is, because if that was all I was doing, I would not enjoy myself. It's too slow. That's not my personality type. You know, I think a lot of you guys understand this. Nico, what's your target for a quick scalp? Question here. It depends. What's the ATR? Meaning the volatility. What does the setup require? What am I looking for as far as the probability to reward to risk ratio? I'll take scalps that have a really low probability of success, but if they hit, it's like a 5-to-1. I'll also take scalps that have a much higher probability of success, but if I lose, it's like a 2 or 3-to-1 risk to reward. And you say, ooh, that doesn't sound good. Yeah, but it's good probability, right? Which is the other side that everyone seems to forget. All right. Chat, Big Dog blew my eval yesterday, came within $60 of blowing my funded. Messing with that copy trader on TradeAvate got me, bro. I've heard the TradeAvate copier is pretty good. I've never used the TradeAvate copier. I've always used my affordable indicators within NinjaTrader to copy trade. Sorry to hear it, big man. Chat, I feel like scalping with that trailing stop loss on TakeProfitTrader has been tougher. You just trade smaller. You trade smaller. If you're having trouble scalping with, and by the way, I don't mean like regular, drawdowns, like regular 7-trade losing drawdowns that happen once a quarter. You're like, what the fuck's going on? Those are gonna happen, okay? But if you're having consistent problems with scalping and prop accounts, it's gonna be, you need to size down. You're trading too big. If you're having trouble like every day, it's because you're trading too big. So what you need to do is either do that scalping in a personal account, or what I prefer, if you're gonna stick with prop, is scale horizontally. Do not scale your prop trading vertically. Scale your prop trading, I should say, horizontally. All right, so we got bar 52 here. It's going to roll over in 8 seconds. And we basically have it closing as a doji. It's struggling with this high a day here. Okay, now we've got the open of bar 53. Open of 53. Let's see here. If we can get a nice clean bull close out of 53, or hell, even a pullback. Even a pullback, I'd hit a scalp and risk the wick low of 51. Question, when would you recommend to scale vertically? By the time you're, trading personal accounts, I think it then makes sense to scale vertically. The other time that it might make sense to scale vertically is going to be if they take you to live, which I know there's a lot of issues surrounding this lately, but if a prop firm takes you live, do I even want to go down this path? People are pissed lately about the live paths. Dude, if they take you live, they take you live. I mean, whatever. Like, it doesn't mean you're just fucked forever. But then you scale vertically, but you have to work with them on it, and it kind of just takes consistent trading in the smaller live account, which you can make real money in a smaller live account, by the way. I think people overestimate how much money you really need in a live futures account to make like a full-time income. Now, you shouldn't have every dime of your net worth in that account, but you should have your working capital in your active personal futures account. And it doesn't take as much as I think people think, but you got to be willing to add back on drawdowns, which is why you don't keep all your trading capital in the account. You keep a small portion of your dedicated trading capital in the actual personal futures account, right? Because there's third-party risk. So anyway, scaling vertically, I would say if you go live with prop or in a personal account. All right, we got 3 minutes out here. I am all pumped up about the close of bar 53. You know I'll get long on the close of 53 if we can get a nice clean close, baby. Let's see what we got. Question, hey Nico, do you stream solely on YouTube or do you stream anywhere else as well? I stream only on YouTube. Okay, I'm open. Where do you guys like to watch live streams? You're all on YouTube right now. So I don't know. Does anybody watch trading streams on other platforms? I feel like YouTube's kind of the spot. But I'll hit them all if you guys love it. I don't know. All right. Minute 35 out. Till the close of big bar 53. All right. Chat, question. They say, if you weren't here, I would have taken the break of bar 52 to the long side. Would you have wanted it to close a bit higher to take it? For me, yeah. But if you wanted to take the break of 52 on 53 long, it's not like that's not reasonable. I'll toss out a stop limit buy and see if the bulls want to take it. Give that about 30 seconds here. Risk on 53 is so tight that I'd like to be a part of it if the bulls won it. Only if they want to take the order, though. All right, pull that. No fill, no trade. And watching bar 54. Really, right now, guys, I'm looking for any reason to get long. That's what I'm doing. But it has to be a logical reason. All right, 348. Give me my reason, bulls. Okay, now, if 54, bar 54 that is, can close above the wick high of 53, then I have a scalp on my hands. Question, Nico, do you trade Bitcoin? I'm not into trading Bitcoin, actively trading Bitcoin, I should say. The problem with Bitcoin is that the spreads are massive and the fees are atrocious. You guys, liquidity is absolute king. Liquidity is king. Liquidity beats everything. If you're trading a market that is ridiculously high fees, super wide spreads, it's not going to go well. Okay, it's hard enough to be consistently profitable anyway. Now you're just adding another barrier onto it when there are better instruments that exist. Anything tight is fine, as long as you can trust that it's not just massively manipulated or something crazy. Futures, actively traded stocks, whatever it may be, heavily traded options contracts, stay away from things that are wide. You know, offshore, ideally, stay away from, if you can. And high fees, you don't have to pay them these days. You just don't do it. Stick to liquid instruments. All right, here we go. Stop limit buy for the close of bar 54. Let's see. Yeah, I'll place that for the rollover. See if the bulls want to roll over. Take my order. Little scalp here. Well, go on now, bulls. slow market, so I'll give it the full 30. Good setup too. No fill, no trade. That's fine. So 55 now took out the wick high of 54. And they're running into a little bit of trouble as they have been all day here, hitting the highs of the day. There we go. Good. Now let's see here. All right, beautiful. Bar 55. We have a wonderful look here. We're a minute and 50 seconds out. And I, again, am looking for any good reason to get long. For scalps, runaway train here, man. You guys see that pullback last night, though? This guy here, that was something else. Did anybody catch this, by the way? My last trade of the night was around here. I was asleep when this happened. All right, 45 seconds out here. Let's see. Let's see what we get out of bar 55. Look like a beautiful close. Ten seconds out, stop limit buy engaged. Place in, bulls roll over, pop it, take it, risk the wick low bar 55. All right, ATR is 22, maybe 23. See what we got. There you go, bulls. Well, let's go now, bulls. Good work. Let's keep that pushing. All right, half ATR scalp, pull it, watch 56. I'm scalping here, man. We are scalping, baby. Okay, good scalp there. Let's watch bar 56, see how it closes. We've got 3 minutes. Okay, now we're coming right into 30,600 here on NQ. And while it is a round number, I'm not incredibly concerned about 30,600. I am more looking at the close of big bar 56. One minute, 55 seconds out. Let's see. Let's see. Well, by the way, guys, Apex is 90% off, single day pass, code BIG, B-I-G, baby. Go get the party pack, man. Go get that party pack. We buy 5 at a time around here. No 1 at a time bullshit. Come on now. All right, 45 seconds out to the close of 56. Let's see what we get. Again, I'm looking for scalps all day. All day scalps. Beautiful bar 56. See if we can hit it here. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? If I can get a fill on that, I'm going to hit it with a limit and risk the wick low of 56 as it rolls over. Do you see that? Only if I can get a fill. Tight, tight scalp. Get that stop up. See how tight that is? That's called a low probability, high reward to risk guy. But if they take out that wick low of 56, we might be looking at a trading range anyway, so I want to get this out of the way. Still coming into 30,600, by the way, here on NQ. I'm not too concerned about that in particular. I am just watching price action. All right, bulls. Pop this son of a gun. We don't care about 30,600 on NQ. Just need a bit more of a pop here out of these bulls. You can see they might be hesitating a tad around 30,600. I don't care that much about that level. Okay, 57 closes, bar 58 opens. 57 is going to close inside that wick high of 56. Let's see what 58's got in store here. Okay, now, as this guy continues to develop, I gotta tell you, It's looking like 49, bar 50, and bar 51. So the question becomes, do we just resume the trend, or do we pull into a sideways trading range? The more wick lows we take out, the more convinced I am of a sideways trading range. But we're not there yet. ATR, by the way, sitting at 22. All right, we'll cut him. Let's keep it pushing. Let's get this guy zoomed out. This is a 5-minute chart. Okay, bar 58 here. It's going to close up in 30 seconds. I'm watching that wick high of 57, bar 57. You can see 58 is struggling to take out the wick high of 57, at least it is currently. All right, here comes the rollover. 10 seconds out. So it seems like the slowdown here right ahead of, yeah, I mean, you can see we got that slowdown ahead of 30,500 on NQ, but now we're seeing a slowdown ahead of 30,600 here. So is that a coincidence? I don't think so, but I don't care that much about 30,600. Question. They say, Nico, what do you consider to be an outsized candle? Let's say ATR is 20. An outsized bar on, well, any ATR, to me, the more like textbook definition that I would tell someone who's just getting into it is a bar that is clearly more than twice the size in range in terms of points than what the ATR currently is. But there's also a contextually outsized bar, which is if the recent bars have been really tight, really small, and then all of a sudden you get another bar. Let's say the last 3 bars have been really tight, and then you get a bar that's triple or quadruple the size and pulling out of that trading range. That would, to me, that's sort of outsized, even though it might not fit that exact situation of being clearly more than twice the size of the ATR in terms of points. So, like everything, there is a way to think about it early on to find clarity, and then there's the way that you're going to think about it in addition to the original way. You don't lose the original way, you just add to it as your career goes on. Again, it's just about screen time. Like, screen time is going to make you so much better, but you have to mix it with a methodology that actually makes sense in your head. All right. Okay, we got bar 59 testing the low of bar 58. Okay, there's the open of big bar 60. Still watching that wick low of 58. We'll see if this guy turns into at least a temporary single bar sideways trading range. We're not really there yet. Okay, so now the question comes, do we form a single bar sideways range between the wick lows of bar 50, the wick high of bar 57 and between the wick low of bar 58? It would be short-lived. Okay, but that now becomes the question. Single bar sideways range between the wick high of 57 and the wick low of 58. Man, you know, you can see it's like these bulls are really having trouble working up the courage to test 30,600 here on NQ. You know, it's like it's a courage problem. It's not even necessarily a technical issue here for the bulls. So let's see what they got. All right, that ATR, I gotta tell you, it's still somehow sitting at 22. Which it feels like that ATR is gonna dump. It feels like it's gonna dump. If we stay here in this sideways trading range much longer, I think that ATR is heading below 20, which ideally we would not like to see. So, we gotta get away from this thing, man. All right, Bears, you want to take out that wick low of 58? Just barely. Just barely. Bears taking out the wick low of bar 58. So, let's see if we're going to break up this single bar sideways range. It was very short-lived here. Basically bars 57 through 60. Now, it doesn't mean we're out of the woods. We are definitely not out of the woods here yet as far as the trading range is concerned, but watching 61, first glimmer of hope here in about, what, 15, 20 minutes? So let's see. All right, that whole sideways range is about 25 points wide. So, you know, you can see here, ATR already starting to fall a hair. Now, you know, here, look at this with me for a second. If you're trading this bull channel, the most obvious place for me, if I were going to get long, to manage risk is the wick low of bar 51. But this bull channel is so aggressive, and we had this leg from bar 51 all the way through to bar 57, that risk is just too far away to make mathematical sense of, at least, you know, for the potential upside here, as the bulls are struggling with 30,600 on NQ. And you can see pulling right back up into the range, leaving a wick down here on bar 61. Oh man, we're rolling over here. Bar 62. Opening up here in 5 seconds. See what we get. All right, let's run a poll here in the YouTube chat. Ready? All right, poll is live. Hit it. Hit it. Where's NQ going from here? Are we going above 30,600 or below 30,500? The battle, baby. So, you know, as it sits right now, for me, I kind of have to look at this as still that big bull channel, right, with a new range here. When you zoom out, that's very clearly the look. And I now have the wick low of 61. Which means that is worth the risk for me if I can get a fill. Can I get a fill? There we go. And if the bears want to take out that wick low of 61, then we've got a whole new story anyway, potentially. But I am sitting long for a scalp here. Little hair of struggle, tiny bit, out of the bears at that wick low of 61. It's no coincidence there. See if these bulls can suck us back up into the range. All right, new bar here. We got 62 rolling over into the open of bar 63. And my stop here is real tight. That's on purpose. See if those bears want to take it. All right, I'll get flat. Okay. What's our poll doing, by the way? Everyone's bearish, huh? Oh, man. Whole chat here on YouTube is sitting bearish in a big old bull channel. I gotta tell you, I'm just not sold quite yet. I'm gonna need a big bear body, probably two. Closing beneath previous wicks, nice and clean, expanding in range for me to be sold to the bear side right now. I mean, this market here, it's just a huge bull channel. All right, guys, hey, give me 2 minutes. I will be right back. All right, what's up? Oh, you son of a gun, breaking the wick high of 63. Did anyone get long on that? If you have a scalp mentality, that's a very reasonable trade. I fucking missed it, son of a gun. Coming right back into the range, though, you gotta, be aware of that. Nice, nice, nice. Guys, when you're scalping, it is very, very important. It's a different mindset a little bit, okay? I mean, it's all kind of similar, but especially when you're scalping, you need to be able to trade a size where you're able to just immediately kind of move on from the trade because you're going to take a lot. And those contracts traded during the day, they really add up. And all of a sudden you'll look back, you'll be like, holy shit, did I really take that many trades already? It's different. And if you get hung up on a single trade, it's going to influence, it's like a chain reaction. It's going to influence the next 15 scalps, whether you realize it or not. That's a problem. All right, we've got bar 64 coming up for a test of the wick high of 57, which also happens to be 30,600 here on NQ. All right, so we've got the close of 64. Is it a clean close? Yes, but it's heading right into the wick high of 57 again, which is also 30,600, which the market seems to have a problem with. So we're still testing that wick high there. Just a reminder to look at this. Effectively as this, right? We've got a big bull channel into a sideways trading range. Both are still in play. I gotta tell you guys, when I look at this here, I'm in deep thought. I mean, it looks a lot like 30,500, right? So I don't want to, treat 30,600 like a short because that's just not what the context says. But you know, at some point, one of these sideways ranges has either got to stay a sideways range or curl over. And right now, I got to say, my best case scenario for getting a whole bunch of quick trades is if these bears could tank us. I mean, that would be great, because the problem here is if we get up through 30,600, it might be a bar or two before I can even really make sense of something, right? Those of you guys who got long, by the way, on the 64 break of the wick high of 63. Good scalp. That makes sense given the full context, right? You know, this gets tough up here, guys. It really does. It really does. The long down here was a little easier to recognize. I see that immediately. The problem is up here, the context is this. Again, big bull channel into temporary sideways range, but the issue is if you get a crack of the wick high of 57, the volatility is so slow that even if you take out 30,600 here on NQ, it's kind of a hard to believe, I should say, that we're going to take it up to, you know, another 150 points or something. To me, it feels far more appropriate if we could just roll over and start to dump, even if it happens slowly. But, you know, that doesn't mean I'm getting short. I'm just saying what would be my ideal scenario to get a lot of trades quickly. But right now, we're in a range. All right, 5 minutes, well, I should say 4 minutes until the start of Power Hour. So you guys want to see something interesting here? Look at this with me. This is just like an experience thing. I'm still looking at this as a sideways range, but I'm willing to trade that until, you see what happened here? 57, and then bar 60 topped out below 57. Okay, 65 topped out beneath 60. 61, the wick low, took out the wick low of 58. 63, the wick low, took out the wick low of 61. Even though the context, you understand what I'm saying? Even though the context is big bull channel into sideways range, the problem is the sideways range is starting to really tempt fate as far as the bears maybe finally seeing a curl. You mix that with the start of power hour here. These bulls we might have issues as bulls. We'll see if these bears want to take over. That's right. That's right. Chat says, starting to make lower lows. When you start seeing that in a range, in a sideways trading range, if I've been scalping the sideways range, but I start to see that pattern a little too much, I chill out. I go hands off. Not because it's such a powerful technical pattern or something. I just know psychologically how that range is going to continue to develop, and it might develop into a soft bear channel. All right, you see this? Bears taking out not only the wick low of bar 63, they're also trying to take out the 20 EMA. Okay, so the wick low of 66, if the bears can break that, that's going to tell us a lot. I think temporarily if the bulls hold the wick low of 66, that also is going to tell us a lot. Currently they are doing so. Bulls holding the wick low of 66. Question. With ATR dropping, we may get stuck in this range. Thoughts on low ATR conspiring to keep us in a range? Yeah, low ATR for sure. If the ATR can't start increasing, a lot of the times that range is going to hold on. You obviously, you need that volume to come in to get the strength to push us out of a sideways range. ATR is 21, maybe 22 here. 100% though, you are right. ATR certainly, and that's just volatility, is going to play a role. You need that volume to come in with enough guts, to pay up different prices to get us away from this thing. Man, you can see these bulls, they're running into trouble lower and lower and lower in the range, which tells me I think those bears want to take out the wick low of 66. I mean, they're eyeing it. Of course they are. Okay, we have the open of bar 68, 67 inside close, closing inside 66. Bulls trying to take us back up into the range. Let's see if they can take out the wick high of 65. That is the area to watch right now, the wick high of 65. All right, get my fill. So I'm going to short this and use the wick high of 65 to manage risk, because if these bulls take out the wick high of 65, then the regular sideways trading range is back in play. But the way that I'm seeing this develop, that's what it would take, is breaking the wick high of 65, because right now I know those bears, and I know that all they can think about, they are salivating over the wick low of 66, which means they're going to have to turn this thing into a soft bear channel before they do anything. But if they can't do that, then that's fine. The bulls will take out the wick high of 65. Then we're right back to a sideways range, and it's back to chilling out. Maybe trading the range a little bit. All right, Bears, step on in. I want to see this thing roll over, tank 200 points. We'll go light today. I think 200 points is reasonable. There you go. Bears taking us back down. You're a tad. ATR is sitting at 21, by the way. No fill quite yet. Pull that order. You believe this volatility? There we go. All right, filled. Let's watch the wick low, or I guess the close, I should say, of bar 68. See what we get. All right, 68 is going to close as basically a doji. So we've got big bar 69. And still my eye is on the wick low of bar 66 because I know those bears they're salivating. They can't help themselves. They want to eat up that wick low at bar 66. So let's see if they can. You can see again, bar 68 failing to retake the previous wick high, which was bar 65. Maintaining that pattern that we were just discussing. All right, here we go. Bears testing that wick low at bar 66. See if they can take it out. Here we go. Here's a test. All right, Bears barely by like a tick. They will take out a few points there. They'll take out the wick low of bar 66. Now, you see how on a smaller time frame, this would look like a soft bear channel, right? You zoom out, it's like, okay, big context. You have a big day. Bull wedge into a sideways trading range into now a potential soft bear channel. And being that we are, what, 15 minutes maybe into power hour, a little bit less? Let's see if the bears end up curling this guy over. Okay, for me to get short near the low here, of the move, I mean, of this area, I would need probably 2 consecutive clean bear closes. That's what it would take. We're about a minute out until 69 rolls over into big bar 70. Let's see what we get. It would actually be a monster move if the bears could close this bar beneath the wick low of 66. Little hesitation. Little hesitation there out of the bears. Chat, how we doing today? How we doing? What, is everyone having the worst day of their life? What's up, man? How are we? I know some of you guys got to be having a reasonable day. Okay, here we go. The open of bar 70. Let's see if 70 can take out that wick low of 69 now. 69 closed inside the wick low of 66. Apparently those bears don't have that many, too much guts. Got a whole bunch of green people in the chat, man. Let's see. Good work. We love it. Okay, bar 70. Bar 70 is looking juicy. It's looking nice. We're 4 minutes out here from the close of bar 70. Let's see if this thing can get down low, low, low. If these bulls can give way a little bit. Man, we've got someone in chat, their first day ever trading futures. The first day of the rest of your life, homeboy. Beautiful. Love to hear it. All right, bar 70. 235 out. Okay. All right. Bar 70 here is looking pretty damn good. I like bar 70 thus far. I don't want it to grow too much more, to be honest with you. Oh, you bulls. Come on, bulls. Don't bounce us back now. Hold up, bears. Hold that strength up, you bears. All right, here we go. 10 seconds. Stop limit sell ready. Let's see if these bears can get us a bit lower. There you go, bears. It's not too bad. Boom. Oh, shit! There we go. Play sim. Do you guys see that rollover? A big candle fell off the end of my screen. Yeah, I always tell you guys to be careful of that. Gotta remind myself, big dog. No fill here so far. Give that guy about 10 more seconds here, see if I can get a fill out of those bears. If those bears don't want it, it's gonna be a no fill, no trade. No fill, no trade, man. We don't love it. All right, bar 71. See what we get. Yeah. I was wondering if those bears were going to try to take us back down right away here. So, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, are we going to curl this baby down and turn it into a big bear trend? Or is this going to be kind of a whole bunch of nothing and it's going to be a really soft bear channel, if not just a big false alarm sideways trading range? That's the question. And I think a lot of that answer, right now at least, honestly, depends on if we can take out the open of bar 70. There you go. See that? Those bulls taking out the wick high of 70. Makes you think. Big false alarm to the bear side, maybe? See how those bears, no fill. Even if my order was still out, still would be no fill. That's why I love stop limit orders. Stop limit sells, stop limit buys. I use stop limits for entries on continuations whenever I can. Whenever it makes sense to do so. For that reason, right there. Man, what a great, look at this. That's something else. All right, big old bull bar, 90 seconds out till this guy closes up. Okay, bar 71 is going to close up here. Bar 71 is a big bar. Now, for me, even if this was a big soft bear channel, you know, even if we wanted to look at it that way, which I don't know if I'm so convinced yet, but even if we wanted to look at it that way, I'm interested in getting short on small to moderate bull bodies in the upper third of the soft bear channel. The problem is 71 is a very large bull body in comparison to what we're seeing here. So now we watch bar 72. Man, look at these bulls. All right, what do you guys think, chat? Are we taking out 30,600 here to finish out Power Hour? It's early to say that. You know, as close as we are, it's real early to say that, I gotta tell you. But that is the big question right now. Can these bulls take out 30,600 here on NQ? Let me get a gauge for what you guys are doing lately here in the chat. So just type in the chat. Are you A? How would you classify yourself primarily? I understand that you all probably do all of it. How would you classify yourself if I was like, you can only pick one, big dog? Are you a scalper, more of a day trader, or more of a swing trader? Okay, and if you're like, well, I take one trade a day, but it takes 4 to 5 hours every day, I'd probably classify you as a swing trader. In the chat, what's your style? I kind of want to know the split here. Oh, man. Oh, man. You got what? Are you guys just... Are we all clones of each other? What, is everybody a scalp trader? I know. Fuck, I love it too. Isn't it a good time? You know, it's especially fun when you, like, start to get reasonably okay at it, right? When you suck at scalping, it really sucks. But you start to make money at it, at least over a mid and long-term sample size, it's like, wow, I'm having a great time. Don't ignore those intraday swings and those day trades, though. Those things will keep the lights on for sure, but, you know, scalping. I remember before I even took a single trade, I was like, thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, what do I want to, I'm like, scalper, that's it. Before I even finished the question to myself, I'm like, scalper, that's what I am. We love it, big dogs. Here we go. Here we go. Can these bulls take out 30,600 here on NQ? Here's the test. Moment of truth. Beautiful close out of 72, but again, coming right into 30,600. There it is! There it is! The bull break of 30,600. Now the big question becomes, can they hold it? A break is one thing, man. A hold is an entirely different story. So we cracked it. Great. Now what is the question? The inverse chat strategy strikes again. In our poll, we had what, about a 30% vote on going above 30,600 as opposed to going beneath 30,500. You see these bulls, they're holding off right away. As soon as they crack 30,600, bears pull it right on back in. Hey man, if you haven't yet, I appreciate you hitting the like button on the stream. Helps out a whole bunch, big dog. Appreciate you doing so. Two minutes till the close of 73. Do we close above 30,600? The bulls could really use this one. Here we go. 60 seconds out here until the close of 73. Bar 73. And those bears pulling us back. Typical of a level like this in lower volatility environments. ATR sitting at 24. The insecurity is crazy. But I will tell you, you know, if you see in a situation like this, it cracks 30,600. You know what my instinct says? To short it immediately, right? Here's the problem with doing that. Where am I supposed to manage my risk? I'm not going back this far. You know what I mean? This is a scalp. I'm not going back to a random level, you know, however long ago. So the problem with fading, I should say, the break of 30,600, the break to the bull side, then you fade it to the short side. The problem is not that it's totally illogical for the current market environment, low volatility, big trading range. it is a logical thing to do. The problem is, well, first of all, the whole day has been a big bull channel. Second of all, how are we going to manage risk? You know, you can have a trade where it's a logical idea, but the risk management just isn't there. There's no way to do it logically. Because what are you going to do? Use an arbitrary stop? I mean, I guess you could. I really, as much as I can, I'm staying away from arbitrary stops. Well, I'll tell you guys what, man. Hey, if you're looking to go full time, here's the reality, big dog. You're gonna need money in the bank. Life is really expensive. Okay? If that's your goal and you're like, which prop firm should I start with? I would encourage you to start with TakeProfitTrader. I love TakeProfitTrader. You know, 30% off. You will not pay the $130 activation fee when you pass the test if you signed up using code BIG. B-I-G. So it's a very, very good deal. But they offer daily payouts, and you need money coming in, dude. Life costs a lot of money. No one's pretending that it doesn't. Everyone else likes to bitch and moan about how expensive everything is. The way I see it, dude, it's like, it is what it is. Let's just fucking make more money. That's the only answer. Save your pennies is not the answer. Your grandparents were wrong. They lived in a different time. You know, the way I see the world today, you just gotta, okay, it is what it is. We gotta make more money. You know, look out for you and yours. Rather than bitching with other, you know, sad people on the internet. It's not the way to do it. You know, so daily payouts. And when it's time to make the numbers or the money, I guess, look bigger, go hit Apex. That's the way that I would approach it if I were starting over here with props alone. All right, guys, I'm going to hit it. I will see you guys tomorrow. Hope you have a tremendous day. Pharaoh Friday, baby. Sleep tight tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow, man.